All right, we are back for more spelling on this lovely Tuesday. So let's, if you don't have your boards out, you can pause me and go ahead and have those out and ready, but no drawing on them, okay? And make sure you leave room to do all of them when we're ready to write. Now, first of all, we're going to say them as I flash them up. I reviewed you yesterday on a couple that we needed to look at again, but we're just going to go with it today, okay? And I'm not going to say anything. I need y'all as a group helping each other, okay? All right, here we go. I hope this works. It's not reversed. I don't know, it could be. We'll just go with it. All right, guys. So have your boards ready. And I'm going to mix them up. All right. I'll say what it is after you write it, so we have immediate feedback. All right. Edit. Ed. Ah, that may not be used at the end of an English word. Au. A. As in first. Ir. Ea. Ea. O, the two-letter O that may not be used at the end of an English word. Oa. Oi, that may be used at the end of an English word. There's oy. A, that may be used at the end of an English word. Ay. A, that may not be used at the end of an English word. Ai. A, o, u, o. Ow, o, u, it's ou. Ow, o, ow. Ch, sh. Ch. Oo, o. O. WH. As in her. ER. As in nurse. UR. E, the two-letter. E. EE. And then the last two, I want you to write the 4 ways that you can spell the long sound of O. I'll give you just a few seconds to do that. 4 ways to spell the long sound of O that we've learned so far. All right, you should have written O, comma, O, consonant E, comma, which is the little hyphen in between the O and the E. OA, comma, and OW. And they don't have to be in that order. All right, now I want you to write the 4 ways that you can spell the long A sound. When A says its name, how do you spell it? syllable, right? When it's open, it's going to say its name. A consonant E, we use the E, the job of E, to make the A long. AI, comma, which cannot be used at the end. And then we have AY that can be used at the end of an English word. All right? Now, real quick, let me just do some quick keywords, all right? Y'all just blurt out. Homophones are words that sound alike but are spelled different. To protect a short vowel, we often do what? Double the consonant. What do we add to the end of a base word to make a new word? What is that term called? I have it up on the board even, with the little building blocks. Yes, a suffix. All right, when we add a consonant suffix, do we double the last consonant of the base word? No. When we add a vowel suffix, do we double the last consonant of the base word? Izzy? Sometimes, right? If it needs to be the short sound in the base word, then we're going to double it to protect it, because remember that vowel suffix likes to grab that last consonant and take off and play, and then it leaves that vowel open and it has to say its long sound. All right, and then how about the 6 question words? Y'all say them to yourself real quick. Who, when, what, why, where, and how. Just sometimes during the day, just ask yourself, what are the 6 question words? That's also going to give you a lot of the WH words that you need to spell with the WH, okay? Now, I've got some words to read real quick. I don't know if we're going to do them all, but mostly it's just some UR words, as in nurse. So read it together. I don't know if these are going to be backwards. This is Ronnie. If these are backwards, let me know and I won't keep doing it. Okay, this is not a UR word, but this is a homophone for the number 4. OW, ow-o, we're going to use the O sound, own. Okay, we doubled the P to keep the O short in order to add ing. All right, yes, I'm not going to keep going with that so we can get to the lesson. All right, so real quick review. We've been going over the different ways to spell the k sound. There's 2 ways to spell it, when it's the first sound in the word or the initial sound. And what are those? K and C. And there's a poem. And I'm just going to say the poem rather than wait for someone else to say it. K comes before I and D. C comes before the other 3, A, O, U. You need to know that. And you will have a worksheet, page 8 today, to give you a little bit of review. I want you to write the poem up in the side corner of the paper so that you have it and you're testing yourself that you can write that. So if you ever get confused, you have it in your head, all right? And then we've talked about the ending sound of k. There was 3 ways to spell it: CK, KE, and K. And yesterday we went over the rules for using the CK at the end of a word. And what was one of the rules, the first one? How many syllables in the word? How many syllables? It needs to be a 1-syllable word. And what kind of vowel sound? Short vowel. Do you remember what we put over short vowel? Called a breve. It's kind of the smiley face. It kind of shortens the length of it when we bend it. So short, it shortens it. Whereas the long one to show the long sound is the macron, and it's a little bit longer. All right, now we're going to talk about a different spelling of the k sound at the end of the word, and how you spell that, and what the rules are to be able to use it. So let's look at my examples. Let's read the words together, please. Bake, strike, pike, Duke. Okay, so what are some of the things you notice? First of all, let's evaluate how many syllables there are. Bake, strike, pike, duke. How many times did I open my mouth for each word? One time, right? So that's one syllable. The vowel, each syllable must need a vowel. Zuzu, no. Come here. Come here. All right, so one syllable. Now, what else did you notice that was similar between all the words? When we look at the vowel, what is similar? Not the kind of vowel, but what sound do the vowels make? The long sound. Now, why are they making their long sound? She's whining out and she's going to fuss. All right, why are they making the long sound? What do they all end with? That is the job of E, is to make, that's job one, right? To make the vowel say its long sound. So when we want it, the word with the k at the end, to use a long vowel, we're going to use K-E to end it, all right? So I want you to take out your whiteboards. While you're doing that, I'm going to go get Zuzu. All right, everybody should have your whiteboards. If not, you can pause me. All right, so I'm going to let you practice writing some of these words. Let's see. I want you to spell take. Now, don't write it big and huge where you have to erase it each time. Just little and keep writing the words down so we don't waste time. All right, I want you to spell take. All right, hopefully you spelled T-A-K-E to keep the A long, okay? T-A-K-E. We have the K sound at the end, so we have to evaluate how we're going to spell that. I want the long sound, so I'm going to put the sound that will give me the E at the end. Okay, does that make sense? Uh-oh. Zuzu's going to get in trouble. And then I have sake. I want you to spell that on your board. So think of each individual sound and what they make. S, A, and how am I going to spell the ending sound? I want the long K sound, a long A sound. I want to do the K-E, sake. All right, what about, y'all know this, puke. When you get sick to your stomach, you puke, right? No giggling, I want you to spell it, puke. All right, so I have the P, and I have the U, and that's, is that a long or short U? U, it's long, so I'm going to use the K-E, so I have the E on there to make it long. All right, now I'm going to mix them up for you. I may have some that have the short vowel, in which we use CK, and some where we have the long vowel. All right, so I want you to write, how about make? Zuzu will make a mess when she's given the chance. Make. Think about the vowel sound you want. I have A. It's the long A sound, right? So I'm going to choose the K-E. All right, how about stick? The dogs enjoy chewing on a stick. Stick. I'm going to sound at the beginning of it. St. And then if is the I, the short I. And so in order to keep it short, what am I going to add to it? I don't want the E this time. Stick, I'm going to do the CK. All right. Tomorrow you'll have a sheet, I think, that will let you practice that a little bit more. Today you're just going to practice your beginning sound of spelling the K sound with a worksheet, page 8. Go ahead and turn that in, and we'll get a grade on that. So we're getting some spelling grades. All right. Hopefully this is getting a little bit clearer for some of you. I know some of you have been struggling with the spelling, with that spelling specifically. So hopefully that'll make it a little bit clearer. And then tomorrow we'll talk about just ending it with the K for the K sound. There is one more spelling for the k sound at the end of a word, but we're not quite there yet. So we'll add that later, hopefully, or you'll get that next year in 5th grade. So biblical worldview, just real quick, let's talk about Exodus 32:16. Remember, spelling is a tool in our toolbox for being able to write and communicate well. In the example of God writing the 10 Commandments on the tablet, I bet he used great spelling, great grammar, great handwriting, all of those tools that are an example to us of how we are to use that to be able to communicate. And the most important thing we can communicate is the gospel and to share Jesus with others. All right, guys, have a good spelling class, and I'll see you for probably Bible next.